taking money back into the federal treasury. Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I always find it so interesting that our colleagues across the dais want to talk about money, and yet the Soros Foundation and the millions they have put into different nonprofits and efforts of influence are really quite astounding. They're the record breaker. Mr. Sakata, I want to come with you, and thank you for your time. We talked yesterday about the Memphis Safe Task Force. President Trump, AG Bondi, Director Patel have done a great work with all the federal agencies in Memphis. And as I told you yesterday, they have made more than 6,500 arrests. They've taken 1,500 illegal firearms off the streets. They have found 148 missing children, and it's a joint effort. You've got all these federal and state agencies that are there. ATF is a part of this. And talk about what you would do as director to support the effort of the Memphis Safe Task Force, which has cut crime in Memphis by over 50%. And I'd like to hear what you would do to not only Memphis, but other cities to keep them safe and free of these criminals.
Good morning, Senator. Thank you for your time. And again, thank you for making time to speak to me yesterday. ATF is a proud partner of the Memphis Safe Task Force, as we are in the Make DC Safe and Beautiful Task Force as well. As everyone knows, ATF is a small federal agency. We have about 40 ATF agents in Memphis that are assigned to this task force, and we've made up for about 32% of the federal cases that have been brought forward in Memphis for federal firearms violations. So our small team is a significant contributor, and I think someone called us the can-do agency earlier, and I plan on continuing to support that task force. We, as an agency, every year like to have surge operations around the countries in cities like Memphis and DC that are being impacted by violent crime. We don't do it alone. We always work with our state and local partners, with other federal partners, to ensure that we are using a whole of government approach to make the largest impact on violent crime in those communities.
Well, we appreciate the number of these cases that have been able to be tried federally. We have a weak DA in Memphis, and so getting these into federal court, it has been helpful in making the city safe. Mr. Wolf, let me come to you. Talk a little bit about sentencing, because the Western District of Texas really has a high volume of federal cases, immigration, drug, firearms cases that are there, other criminal offenses. So talk with me about how you would approach the federal sentencing guidelines and whether you believe there are circumstances where a judge should deviate from those recommendations. Microphone.
Thank you, Senator. I had the great privilege of being in the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District of Texas for about 15 years. So got to see a lot of outstanding judges handle these issues who were faithful to the law. Of course, when it comes to sentencing, you have 3553A factors. You have to look at the history and characteristics of the defendant and nature and circumstances of the offense. Every now and then, of course, if a judge feels like that a sentence should go outside the guidelines, that they have a duty to articulate why they think that should happen on the record, why they think the guidelines aren't reasonable.
Mr. Sakata, let me come back to you. On firearms cases, when you're talking about these federal firearms cases, what's the proper role of the ATF in enforcing those federal laws while also respecting the constitutional rights of the individual and the Second Amendment?
Thank you for your question, Senator. ATF's, I think, in a unique position. We have the ability to use crime gun intelligence. I mentioned that earlier. It's intel that we gained from E-Trace, from NIBIN, and now DNA. So ATF is not driving around neighborhoods or going through people's homes looking to burden legal firearms owners with our enforcement actions. When ATF comes into a neighborhood, we've used intelligence to identify who the people are responsible for violent crime and hold those people accountable to the fullest extent of the federal authorities allowed by law. When we do that, we've seen significant impacts and significant sentences that don't not only remove those people from those communities that they've been terrorizing, but they serve as a significant deterrent for others that would choose that path as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Scotta, I'm actually really